All right. Let's get this out of the way first. The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on Tailboard Talks Firefighter podcast are solely those of the speakers, guests, and host, and do not in any way represent the thoughts or views or opinions of any other employer, partnership, or sponsor. The material and information in this podcast is for general information purposes only and should be used at the listener's discretion.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tailboard Talks Firefighter podcast. My name is Chris, your host. And man, this is my third try doing this episode because I got today and I'm still figuring it out. I'm still reeling, still trying to get my thoughts organized and come up with what I want to say about this. Because if you're watching on YouTube, I have pages and pages of notes that I wrote down about this topic because it goes off in so many different directions. But I saw something on social media today that got me. It got me, man. Usually I'm pretty good at the rage bait not working. I don't buy into it. I don't have to respond to it or speak out against it or whatever, but this one got me. And it got me because it's fitness oriented, fitness centered. Before we go too deep into this, go to Rescue One CBD, buy some stuff, 0.000 THC, and also Fourth Frontier, make the heart rate X2 heart rate monitoring strap. I got by this rage bait, and it's from a page that a lot of people follow. 37,000 people follow, and they've had good stuff in the past. I remember seeing their stuff in the past. Not my style, really. It's a lot of that repurposed Twitter or X stuff where you just take the screenshot of it or format it with your own thing and you're quoting yourself more or less. That's their platform, that's their page. They have a whole book dedicated to it, but I don't like that stuff because basically it's just fortune cookies, in my opinion. It doesn't mean much. It's just pats on the back from people that agree with you. You're preaching to the choir, virtue signaling, remember that word, a lot of virtue signaling. So it's not my style. It's not my type of page that I typically follow or check in with. But for some reason, somebody shared it today, shared it in their stories, and I saw it, and I just immediately was like, what is going on here? It made me so frustrated. And the post had to do with fitness, and essentially what it said, every firefighter should have a gym membership, and every department should cover the cost of it. And immediately I was like, well, that person has no idea what they're talking about. This is purely just something thrown up to get a high five. And people say, yeah, make the department pay more. And what can they do for us? And if they cared about my fitness, they pay for it. And my department's screwing me. And it brings out people that have that opinion of this is what the comments were. It was 40-something comments. And most of them were like, yeah, and we should have fitness tests too, which I agree with. But also my department doesn't even have a weight room. They need to hear this. And if they cared that much about my fitness, they would invest in me. And that I've been saying this for years. They need to do more for us. And I hate it so much. Now, I'm not of the mindset that the department has no onus in your wellness. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that statements like that every firefighter should have a gym membership and every department should be paying the bill for it, is lazy, and it sets up certain attitudes that we do not want in the fire service. It immediately sets the us versus them. I should be able to do this thing and you should pay for it, department. When in fact, you can play that game with so many different things. Ladders, equipment, the rig, your boots, your uniform. You can play that game of if you want me to look a certain way, give me the uniform. If you want me to use a certain piece of equipment or be effective with the irons, give me some good irons. If you want me to be able to reach that window, give me a ladder. I'm totally down with that. The department has obligations to make sure you have the equipment and the resources to do your job effectively to their standard. Not your standard, their standard. Lots of times, if you're listening to this, or if you follow those fortune cookie pages or whatever, your standard may be higher than what your department's is, but that's your standard, not theirs. They're going to have a certain standard that they are comfortable with, and they will supply you with equipment to perform to their standard. Your physical fitness is not the responsibility of your department. It's not. Your mental health, I could see more of that, right? I could see saying, I did the best I could preparing for these situations, but we encounter these things, much like a physical injury, we encounter these things that are so beyond our capacity to absorb that now I have a physical or mental injury. I get that. But the front half of that work, you preparing yourself to absorb as much insult as possible, is not their responsibility. They didn't come to you and say, we want to get you in shape and train you and make you physically fit so you can respond to our citizens. You went to them and said, I want to respond to your citizens. Okay? So being in a physical ability to do that is something that you said you were interested in. They didn't come knocking on your door. You might have seen a flyer, it might have been coming across your social media that they're hiring, but ultimately you went to them and said, I want to be the person that serves your citizens, right? And that entails your physical fitness. It's not your department's job. What this does is statements like this, that I should be able to get a gym membership and you should be able to pay for it. Things that the department isn't responsible for, that now you're putting responsibility on them to do, sucks. Because it sets up a few things. It places blame on the organization for something that they're not responsible for. It instills an us versus them mentality. And there's enough of that with the operational stuff that they do have a responsibility for. You don't need to start bringing stuff up that they don't have responsibility for and start blaming them for not supporting you. Okay? It also instills a whole bunch of entitlement in the generations before you that are coming after you. If a new guy walks in and he's on the fence about, I'm not the most in shape guy, but I know this is a physical job, and I know I should probably work out. And you get an old guy coming in saying, well, if they cared that much, they'd pay for your gym membership. What do you think that's going to do to that kid? Is that going to make him say, yeah, they probably should, but you know what, I'm going to do it anyways? Or is a 25-year guy sitting there in the recliner saying, you know what, if they cared enough, they'd do it for you? Or is he going to back down to that guy? Most likely. He's going to take heed and be like, oh, maybe they should pay for that. Maybe I won't put out my own money. I'll see what happens in the next year or so. Because maybe it will happen. It's not going to happen, right? It might happen. Now, I say all this. Now, hold on. I don't want to get too far off track. The other reason I hate this sentiment, I don't like the sentiment of the post that they put up. It is literally 1 degree off of what I just said with that old guy. If they wanted me to be in better shape, they'd pay for me to go to the gym. If they wanted me to be in better shape, they'd let me go out of service to work out. If they wanted me to be in better shape, they'd have a nutritionist come in here every third day and tell us what to do. If they wanted me to be in better shape, they'd have a chef come in here and cook my meals for me. That is so dumb to me. That argument is so stupid to me. And that's lazy language. It's a little bit harsh language. I get it. That's not their responsibility. What happens when you leave work? Do you just sit there and hope somebody brings you food and moves your limbs around until you come back, and then when you come to work, you blame the department for not doing that for you too? Do you not function as a human outside of this job? What is going on here with that mentality? And that's what that lends to. Saying that everybody should have a gym membership, which is false on its own, and that the department should pay for them, basically without questions asked is what I'm getting. It sets up that thing of if they cared, they'd do that. I guess they don't care. So I guess I'll do nothing until whatever. And then I'm just going to blame them. If I get hurt, if I can't throw a ladder, if I suck down a bottle in 10 minutes, I'm going to tell them, well, you should give me an hour a day to work out. And that is not going to fly. There is no chief or administration in the world that would hear that argument and be like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry for not letting you work out 1 hour a week on shift. You had a Kelly day last week. You take a lot of vacation time because you're an old guy. If you only had 4 days to work out last month, the 4 shift days you worked, those 4 days would have made all the difference in the world. I know you're not working out off shift, but since you're blaming the department for your on shift inability to work out, man, if you only had those 4 days that month, maybe you wouldn't have got hurt. That is not going to fly. And if you're that person that blames your fatness or lack of fitness on the fact that you can't go out of service for an hour and work out, you're going down the wrong path. Because you're basically calling yourself too lazy, unmotivated, or unable to go work out the 2 days you have off. I get it, first of all. You're not going to talk to someone that understands sleep deprivation and burnout and lack of desire and apathy more than me. I did it. I'm in a much better spot now. So, admittedly, I'm in a much better spot. But for 13 and a half, 14 of my 16 years, I was living that life on the ambulance. I get it. I'm just telling you that, yeah, you got to do a little bit extra sometimes. And that's what, quite honestly, that's what Fourth Shift Fitness was about. I'm literally wearing the shirt that says fitness on it. And I'm telling you that I'm not just going to give you the red carpet for every fitness blame you have against the department for not supporting you. It falls back on the individual. It really does. That's what Fourth Shift Fitness was about. That's what Fourth Shift Firefighter is about. I had it on my website. I think it's still there. This company is designed to help people that want to help themselves. But that's the barrier to entry. That's the fourth shift, okay? And this was not where I was going to go with this conversation. You have the 3 shifts, Red, gold, black, 1, 2, 3, whatever, whoever, don't care. You have those 3 things. This company in this quote unquote mentality or whatever community is the 4th shift. This is the stuff that you're going to do outside of the job or above and beyond the job or next to the job that's going to make you better on shift and away from it. So to hear that like, I can't do this because the department doesn't pay for it, which is not their responsibility, drives me absolutely crazy. Now, I also understand how you can get to that point. Like I said, I lived that life for a long time. I understand it. But it's such a BS way to operate. You basically call yourself incapable. You're telling the world you're incapable by putting the blame on someone else why you can't work out. If you want a really harsh take on it, this whole every firefighter should have a gym membership and the fire department should pay for it. They do. They pay you. If it's that important that you're going to complain about it that much, it should be that important for you to budget it so you can have it in your life if you want to go somewhere. The real fact of the matter is that not every firefighter should have a gym membership. There's people that don't need to go to the gym. There's people that hate going to the gym. There's people that don't have a good gym around them to go to. I've been riding my bike for the past 4 months, more than I've been using this home gym. I don't need a gym. I have a home gym, first of all. I have 1.5. I got one in the basement. I've been riding my bike. Does that mean that I should go to my department and say, I'm not going to lift weights for the next 4 months. I want you to buy me a bike. And if you don't, I guess I can't be in shape then because that's what I want to do right now. This whole thing doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why it strikes such a chord to me. I think it's because I have experience with this. I've been on the fitness committee in my department for over a decade. And we went from, you have access to the in-city gym, the city-run gym. We have one of those. It's like a YMCA run by the city. You can get a free membership to there. Then it was, you know what, since people live out of town, we're going to, whatever the top membership is there, we're going to give you that much reimbursement from foreign fire tax so you can take that. And it was like $600 at the time. And then over the course of the past 5 years, we were able to raise that from $600 to $900. Now, for most people, that covers all their gym membership, takes care of it. For like the Lifetime Fitness and other places like that, it covers like half, right? But that's a benefit provided by foreign fire tax that not many departments have. And we still have people that don't work out. And we still have people that blame being too busy on shift to go out of service for an hour for why they get hurt. And we still have people that take the money we give them and complain that it's not enough. I've changed my approach on all this stuff for the past couple of years. I stopped selling this to the chief and the administration and foreign fire tax as if we just give them a little bit more money, maybe we'll pick someone up that wasn't going to work out, and that'll be enough to lower the barrier of entry that they'll go and join a gym. And they will. They will go join that gym. They'll pay the money and they'll get the money from foreign fire tax. But going to the gym and doing stuff in the gym and making themselves better is what typically ends up lacking. So now I've changed it. I've changed my approach to it. And this is, maybe take this and use it if you can. I changed it from, hey, let's try to drag one more person out of the depths to, hey, let's take the people who are doing already and reward them. So-and-so goes to the gym. He does a great job. He had a minor injury last year, but it could have been a lot worse had he not been strong and in shape. I want to give him more money so he can continue his progress. And yeah, we can't just give him more money. Everybody's going to get a higher allowance. And the people at the bottom who aren't using it, whatever, they're going to not use it anyways. But we're going to reward the people at top. I do believe in gym reimbursements. I do believe that there's a place for the department to support their members in their fitness and their wellness, especially, obviously their mental health. I do believe that there's an ability and a system to go about that. But the blanket statement of everybody should have a gym membership and the department should pay for it is just such a lazy throwaway for me. It got me so frustrated. And here we are. Here we are. And I have so much more stuff written down here that I didn't even touch on. And I can't even read it because I was scribbling in a frustrated state. This might be a little goofy of an episode. Like I said, guys, this thing started as a fitness company. And just because started as a fitness company and I still wear the fitness logo and I do a lot of fitness stuff does not mean that it's a zero fault relationship with the membership, right? We know that there's people that you could literally not only pay for their gym membership, but pick them up from their house and drop them off at the gym and pick them up 2 hours later, and they still wouldn't do the work required. For some people, it's never going to be enough. Firemen are notorious for never being happy. So to say that everybody needs a gym membership, I don't want to go to your gym. I don't like doing that stuff. I should, you know what? I would like that, but I got kids and I can't go to my gym. There's always going to be excuses. There's always going to be excuses. Sometimes there's reasons. I'm not blind to that fact too. Sometimes there's legitimate reasons. A lot of times there's excuses. If you cared enough about your fitness, it would not matter if the department gave you $1 or $1 million to maintain it. And that's the truth. And I'm not saying you have to join a gym to do it, or a CrossFit gym, or a powerlifting gym, or a Pilates studio, or anything like that. I'm saying if you cared enough about it, you would have found something by now. Pick up basketball, rat hockey, rock climbing, biking, running, triathlon training. You would have found something by now that you enjoy doing, that lends itself to the job, that you have a genuine interest in, and you'd be doing it already. If you're waiting for the department to incentivize you to be fit, I hope you keep waiting. And that's harsh to say. But you don't deserve it. And that's even harsher to say. Okay? If it's a mental block holding you back, I get that. Address that. Stop blaming the department because you don't want to go work out. Gravity is free. Okay? We just got through doing the 14-ish last month. You can literally set up a towel on the ground, work out for free every single day, and have better results than if you paid $500, $800, $1,200, $2,000 a year to go to the best, brightest, cleanest workout facility in the world. Your fitness and keeping it up and maintaining it, improving it, is not your department's responsibility or obligation. It's yours. So I'm going to leave it at that. Sorry if this was rambling. Sorry if I lost a few friends during this one. Sorry if what I said didn't really align with what you expected, and this is a tough episode to sit through. You turn it off because it was frustrating you. Sorry, kind of. But, I mean, man, what else can they do? They told you the risks. You read the news. You know the demands. They've given you equipment to do the job. All you got to do is show up on time and be able to respond. That's your responsibility. Show up on time, be able to respond. What more can the department do to tell you that's the expectations? If you can't keep yourself physically fit enough to do those two things, show up on time, be able to respond, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. If you like what I said, there's a Buy Me a Coffee button on the website and also on the show page. Go check it out. I really appreciate you guys who donate the Buy Me a Coffee money. I'll make sure to have the camera charged up for next week too, so I don't have to use the GoPro. I'm drained, guys. That afternoon, that was a long afternoon. It was Nathan's first day of school. We had that emotional. Maybe that's why I got so frustrated at it. Nathan's first day of kindergarten. Yep, cried. Stressful day. And then in the middle of it all, I saw that post, and maybe I just repurposed all my feelings onto that. But here we are. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Let's all keep working on being more capable and durable on the job and away from it. If you need help in your fitness journey, reach out. I can help. Okay, I can point you in the right direction. I can give you tips and tricks. I can look over your program. I can even sell you programs to do. All right. On the website soon, there's going to be the templates for building workouts and circuit workouts and strength building workouts, all free. Okay. And as I'm sitting here now remembering, that's a part I didn't even go over. And I'll get to it next time. All right. One's long enough. Talk to you guys soon. Keep on being a force shifter. Bye-bye.